Next, we're going to do math, but before we start math, I forgot to remind you to do your handwriting page. So you should be doing this page today. It says C, seed, seeds. That's your page you should be doing for today with our long E. Remember that when the line's above the E, that shows the long E sound. So make sure you get that done too. We're going to start a new chapter. It's going to be about temperatures and measuring things. So we're going to talk about today about measuring temperatures. But before we do that, we're going to review our dot patterns. And you should have your little pennies punched out from the back of your book, or 6 pennies. I have my pennies here. We're going to do some things with those. But before we start with our pennies, I want to review our dot patterns, and we'll do them in English and Spanish. So let's practice them together. So this is 7, siete, 3, tres, 4, cuatro, 9, nueve, 1, uno, 10, diez, 2, dos, 0, cero, 5, cinco, 6, seis, 8, ocho, and we're back to 7. All right, so we're going to do some practicing. We're going to do some stuff with our dot patterns, but it's going to kind of be like a little math addition and subtraction review. So what I want you to do first, I'm going to do mine on my little board here. My pennies might be a little bit different than yours. I want you to put 2 pennies in the dot pattern of 2, which actually should be side by side. So there's your dot pattern of 2. You're going to show me a dot pattern of 2 with your pennies. Okay. I have, you can use either side of your penny, doesn't matter. This side is heads. This side, you call it heads and tails. And the building on the back of your penny is called the Lincoln Memorial. It's actually in Washington, D.C., and inside of this building is a big, big statue of Abraham Lincoln. So if you ever get to go to Washington, D.C., you should go visit. It's a really big building. It's really neat. A really, really big statue, too, in the building. So it's the Lincoln Memorial. That's on the back. Also, the newer pennies have like a shield on the back. So if you ever hear anybody say flip a coin, heads or tails, that's heads, that's tails. All right. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with a dot pattern of 2. I want you to add 2 and make a dot pattern of 4. So show me a dot pattern of 4. So now we have 2 plus 2 equals 4. Now I want you to add 1 more penny in the middle to make that 5. You have your dot pattern of 5. So we have 4, 4 plus 1 equals 5. So show me your 5 dot pattern there. Now next, I want you to take away 3 of your pennies. So take away the bottom 3. So we have 3. So we have 5 minus 3. And what are we left with? 2. You have 2. Back to your 2 dot pattern. Now I want you to remove 2 pennies. If you remove 2, you have what? 0. So 2 minus 2 is 0. So now I want you to make the dot pattern for 3. It's 3 in the row, remember? 1, 2, 3. So I have 3 here. And then I want you to make another dot pattern for 3, but right below the first one. So you're going to make 2 rows of your 3 dot patterns. Okay, so what dot pattern is this now? 6, right? So we have 3 plus 3 equals 6. Now I want you to take away 4 pennies. Let's take away 4 pennies. And what are we left with? Our dot pattern for 2. We have 2. So 6 minus 4 equals 2. And that's all we had to do today for practicing with our, you can try practicing on your own some different things if you want to try adding and subtracting. Keep up with your addition and subtraction. That's all we're going to do for review for that today. And next we're going to talk about temperature, measuring temperature. So you can get out your paper next. First things first, put your name on the paper. We're going to talk about cold and warm when it's in Farmer Brown. Can he grow his plants, his crops, when it's cold outside? No, because the temperature is too cold. And on a thermometer, the temperature, when it's warm, you'll see it more red on the thermometer. And when it's cold, it'll be lower on the thermometer. We'll see that on the back side of the page. But we're going to look at the pictures here, and it says circle the picture that shows cold weather, put an X on the picture that shows hot weather. So let's take a look at our pictures here. Let's look at the first one here. With the sun shining, the green grass and everything, that's when it's hot. So you're going to put an X on the picture for hot weather because that's like summertime in the first one. So put an X on it. You can use your pencils. I'm using the red crayon because I just think it shows up a little better maybe so you can see it better. So that's why I've been using a red crayon. What's this one? There's snow on the ground. So is it hot or cold out? It's cold. So you're going to circle this picture. Let's look down below here at Farmer Brown. Whew, looks like he's sweating. He's took his hat off and he's wiping himself with his handkerchief. So is it hot out? Yep, it's hot out. So let's put an X on that one. Oh my goodness, look at him in this next picture. He's got his scarf on. His teeth look like they're shivering, chattering. He looks pretty cold there. So we're going to circle that picture. Let's look down below on the pond. He's at the pond. What's he doing on the pond here? He's ice skating. So in order for the pond to be frozen, it has to be cold. So you're going to circle that one. And then the last one, he's fishing in the pond. It's got to be hot out to be able to go fishing. You put an X on that last one. Okay. Turn your page over. And on here, this is where I was talking about thermometers. When it's cold out, you don't see much red. When it's hot out, you see a lot of red. They want you to mark the correct thermometer. So what you're going to do is just fill in the little circle down below. So let's look at this first picture. It's snow on the ground, ice on the pond. It's not much red in the thermometer. It's cold out. So you're going to fill the circle in underneath that. Let's look at Farmer Brown. Boy, that's a nice looking garden. He has his garden planted there, working in his garden. Summertime. So the temperature goes up. So does the thermometer. So you're going to fill one with more red in it. About when he's out working in his fields, plowing his fields. Yeah, you can't plow frozen ground when it's cold out. It's got to be warm out. So you got the more red in the thermometer. And in your last one, can't do anything with this fill. There's snow on it. So you're going to fill in the one with not as much. All right, here's our dot patterns. You should be able to know those without counting because we've been practicing so much. You're going to write the number below in the dot pattern. It matches each dot pattern. So go ahead and do that. Give you a couple minutes and then I'll go over it with you to tell you the answers to make sure that you got them right. All right, if you're not finished, you can finish up. I'm going to start and I'm going to try to write answers down on here for you. The first one's pretty easy too. I think I'm making it the right way. Wait, no, I'm not. Number 2, there we go. It's hard writing with this crayon. All right, next is 4. Next, we have 4 plus 4. Remember I say 4 plus 4 is 8. Then we have 3. Then we have 6. And last but not least, 3, 6, 9. We have 9. I think I made mine all the right direction. Yeah. Don't want to make any of my numbers backwards for you. It's hard trying to write them upside down. All right, so those are the answers that you should have on your paper. And that's it for our math lesson today. So all we have left is Bible. So get your Bible. You have one more part of your worksheet to do. So get your Bible worksheet out next.